Namaste, Jai Bharat. Pakistan is one nation that heartily celebrates anything negative that happens to Bharat. This had been their continuous and consistent behavior. They just enjoy themselves, rejoice, jump up and down when some drawback or something negative happens to Bharat. We just don't bother. That's a different thing. We are just not concerned. But they enjoy it. Their complex, obviously inferiority complexes, the complexes I should say, are to that extent. Recently, in Dubai Air Show, one of our light combat aircraft Tejas crashed. And when it crashes, the way Pakistan has celebrated it, you should have seen it. We were watching. The Pakistanis and those 0.5 people within Bharat. We have 2.5 friends of war, as our people said. The 0.5 people within Bharat, not many, but we treat them as 0.5. Oh, they found it a great occasion to rejoice and enjoy. Whereas Tejas, the light combat aircraft, when you compare it with similar other aircraft, has got the least crash track records. That's one thing. Now, this is the problem with, they just can't see Bharat doing anything better. Now, how would Pakistan react when suddenly the world says that the economic growth, the GDP of Bharat has jumped from 5.6 to 8.2? Pakistan can't believe it. They can't adjust. They can't digest. They all have stomach aches. And there were discussions on it in Pakistani channels. Very interestingly, it was really fun watching. We watch it because mostly they're very funny. It was interesting because it was very funny. That was a great entertainment. On the first, see, if you look at the background, Pakistan, the army man Munir, had been going after President Trump, somehow getting him invited for lunch and showing himself as a very good friend, and giving everything that Trump wants from Pakistan. And yours most obediently kind of existence. And he thinks that America will help. That of course America is not going to help. America doesn't have that track record of transparency with anybody. Maybe that he wants to pose himself as the ultimate authority of Pakistan, at least for now. So he would say to the people, that's his intention, he would say to the people of Pakistan that Trump is my friend. He would talk to the people of Pakistan saying that Trump is my friend, that means US is my friend. They will do anything for me. They are asking me to go for lunch, they are asking me to go for dinner. I keep going and coming. We have such intense, intimate relations. I can ask him for anything. And the people of Pakistan are so foolish, they will believe it. Now what happened is, America had been putting tariffs after tariffs on Bharat, which Pakistan was waiting to celebrate. When something goes wrong in Bharat, they had been really waiting to celebrate. But then there were no visible change in Bharat. It doesn't mean that they have not celebrated. They have celebrated. They made a lot of speculations and narratives and spoke in their media, which of course did not carry. So many tariff 10%, 12%, sometimes 25%, sometimes 50%, sometimes this talks about 100%. I don't know. Pakistan can say anything and really say anything and get away with it. So Bharat was developing and going as a stronger economy forward, which they can't imagine. They can't even imagine to understand that. At that time, this tariff war comes. Trump's tariff war, and Pakistan obviously expected Bharat to have some setbacks, and even I also thought there will be some setbacks. But then we all braced up to face whatever, but stand on our ground. But what comes up, what comes out, the result is amazingly opposite to what the impression we people used to carry. Our GDP last year this time was 5.6. Then it was growing. Definitely, people expected something little more than 6, but the actual thing is 8.2. Difficult to believe. So that kind of effort and energy our people put in. Oh, my Prime Minister doesn't sleep. My Prime Minister hardly sleeps for 4 hours after 24 hours. So that kind of dedication, sincerity, and complete grip of situations. Look at him. He has to look into every possible aspect of everything that happens in the nation, outside the nation, and what is anticipating things that what might happen. So his struggle, his sleepless nights, gives results. Now I would credit him only one person, and others would work with him. That was a team. That's a team. But this person, if he's not there to lead, this kind of work culture would not have happened. There's a joke in Gujarat. When Modi ji had become Prime Minister of Bharat and went from Gujarat as Chief Minister, those who worked with him, they heaved a huge sigh. Oh, now we can relax a little. Now he makes people work. Or you voluntarily work unknowingly, seeing this leader working so much. You're not used to that kind of hard work, but you will be working voluntarily rather, not by force. Seeing him working, who can stop people? Who can keep quiet and sit and relax? No, you can't do it. As an honest human being, that's what happened to the people when he was Chief Minister in Gujarat. People have been working along with him. That, of course, is a different pleasure. That, of course, is a different kind of enthusiasm. You get energy. You really get energy to work with such people. So, 8.2 GDP. And Pakistan is incapable of believing that this is something happening or this is something true. I just spoke all these things from what I hear of two people's talk. One is Kamar Chima, another one is Talad. Talad only Kamar Chima calls him as Talad. Writing is Talad. Or Tarad or something. Chima, of course, is a non-Punjabi title, Hindu title, which they shamelessly carry. First part of name they keep Arabic name, but the later part they keep Hindu names. There are Minhasas, there are Chowdhuris. There are no Chowdhuris in the Arab land. Still they say that we belong to Arab. At least they will say that we belong to that area, this area. They don't want to accept their Hindu heritage, but whether they accept or not, that is termed upon them as a reality. They have to exist with that. And this Tarad was telling that there's a mistake. It can't be 8.2, it must be 2.8. Look at the utter desperation and frustration of average Pakistani society to see Bharat developing. They're so filled with their own word, nafrat, hatred towards Hindu. They just can't hear that. Pre-divided Bharat, some of their writers, they wrote that a Muslim can't hear the bell of the temples, Hindu temples, so we can't live with them. That's the kind of attitude the two-nation theory presented, whereas 5 times through loudspeakers they shout, there is only one God, no other one is God, He is this thing, He is that thing, He is the only great thing, they'll shout. That is the kind of asan they do. That we have no problem. We did not have problem then also, now also. But the temple bell is jarring to their ears. The narratives. Some people, I just forgot who it was established. There's a list of people, those who are supporting two-nation theory. Of course, that time two-nation theory must have not evolved, but it was in the making. So they can't believe it. Look at Tarad is telling it can't be 8.2, it should have been 2.8. You know, he says this, which is most funny. The Prime Minister, my Prime Minister, must have not used spectacle before he said this. It's not what he says, the world says. So 8.2, 2.8 is misread as 8.2. They wouldn't accept. They are beautiful people, they wouldn't accept defeat at all. They would start narratives telling stories that 6 Rafales fell, 7 Rafales fell, 8 Rafales fell. The number is flexible depending upon the fancy of the speaker. Not a single Rafale fell because we have not used Rafale in that Operation Sindoor. That part they will close their eyes. We haven't used Rafales in the Operation Sindoor, but Rafales are used within our boundaries to fire missiles. We have not crossed so-called borders with Rafales. Other aircraft must have crossed. This is a situation with Pakistan. That's a height of desperation and frustration. You enjoy such videos. You do watch some of the reactions and listen to their narratives, exclamations, and you will just laugh. You don't need any comedians these days to have lighter moments in life. Look at the Pakistani YouTubers. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.